Hey, welcome back aboard my Maxim. Here we are on the 2400 SCR. We got great canvas, it's beautiful. We don't want to ruin it over the winter, we need a winter cover. So the winter cover was shredded when we bought the boat, we didn't get it. So we're going to mount up some poles, take some measurements, and start sewing, and we'll show you how to build, fit, and make your cover on your boat in this video. So stay tuned, like and subscribe, don't miss the videos. Best of luck with your cover project. Well, all right, so our supplies, we got some blue tape. You can use any kind of tape. Tape measure, you can use any one of those too. Pen, and we already made a diagram of the boat. We're going to do a two-pole system on this. We don't really care where the poles are right now. We just want to use it to get about the idea of the arc so we can get the right measurement. Because as you arc it, the dimension front to back gets longer. You can't just measure it. That's what we're going to do. Let's get our poles taped in place. All right, so our first pole, I'm going to put like here. So what we're going to do is just tape it to the seat. Tape from here to over there to hold the pole where we can measure. Don't have to do that, but we're doing it. All that tape. So we're going to do that on all of them, and then we're going to start measuring. All right, you can see what we did here. You can see what kind of angles we have on it. And this lets us know that the snow will run off of this because we're going to use a slick material. So now we're going to take some measurements. We're just going to basically take the tape measure and run across and write those numbers down. All right, so the next thing we did was some math here. We added these up, got 80. We added these up, we got 86. We added these up, we got 145. We added 12 for the front and 10 for the back. So we got 167 for the overall length. Now what we're going to do is, you need extra fabric because you'll see when we put this on, we bring it across, we tuck it back under, we put a snap, and then we sew it later. So don't forget, like and subscribe. Let's get inside. We got our tape down. Let's get inside and cut some fabric. All right, so here we are. We're working on the fabric. You can see we cut this to 167 inches. We bought these clips to hold it for making our first seam. We'll come in a 1/2 inch down here, run a seam all the way across, then we'll fold this over and run it again so it's double stitched and weather tight. We'll show you that when we get it in the sewing machine. All right, so we put all these clips on here. We're just going to put this under here. We're going to put this at a 1/2 inch. You see where the 1/2 inch is, a mark on here, to sew it in about a 1/2 inch. All right. Get a thread started here. And we can take that off. What we can do is sit here and sew, stop, and take off the clips as we go. What you want to do is always make sure the needle's down in the fabric when you do the flipping. We got to get some of this up here. Throw it up here so we got a stretch to go. Hold them together. You can see how they come apart together. And you can just sew along. This type of fabric sews extraordinarily easy. Always when you stop, put it down. You'll notice I didn't back up my stitch at the beginning because there's no real need to, because it's going to end up being folded and cut. So we're going to go sew this all the way down, and then we'll show you on the next pass. All right, so now we're going to make another stitch by laying this piece under here over and stitching it. So you bend this over and you're going to stitch it. The big piece of this has to go through the sewing machine, so you can see we put clips and rolled it nice so it can go through this opening here. So let's set it up and get you started. What we're doing is we're putting this through here. That's the roll part. And pull it up like this so you got some slack. We'll fold this under this way. The hard part here will be keeping that folded that way. So you want to pull this apart and have that over there. We'll drop this on there. We're going to stay just that little bit, this space in the shoe, away from it. do a little bit of this, and let's lock the stitch. Alright, so by doing that, we're getting a watertight seam here. So we just kind of got to pull that over. You can kind of feel it here. And you got to go real slow now. You got to keep lining that up as you go. There'll be lots of stopping to index your fabric and everything. And we're just going to continue this all the way across. You don't need to watch that, but that's what we're going to do. All right, welcome back. So we've got these tubes we made. Your pole will go through here. We made them 24 inches long. We also made a reinforcement circle. We used a 9-inch plate to make these circles. So what we have to do is mount this to the center of here. A couple ways you can do it. You can try to be real nice and kind of tip this out and kind of sew it around in a circle. It does not really matter what you do here because you could theoretically just put a straight line in it and sew it and it would be fine. But what we're going to do, bring this under here and sew it around in a circle near the center. All right, we locked our thread, get it out. We're gonna make 2 of these, and then we're gonna set up the other. What we'll do is next we'll set up our snap tools, and we'll put some snaps on the big cover and start fitting. You get it pretty good, you pull the center out, and now you can put that over and install it on the boat. So we did this so we can do the front. We'll go out, we'll put a couple other snaps on it, and we're just going to continue when we're out on the boat, folding this edge under like this and putting the snaps where they need to be. Then you're going to come back and sew here and here. That way it's double reinforced. You can go watch another video I made on snaps and snap tools, so you know how the snap tool works when we did the screens. But we'll show you again real quick. The button part latches in there. The snap part goes up on here, and that's how it goes. And then you onto the canvas. So what you have to do is grab the canvas and feel it and hold it and know where the snap goes. So you put it like this. We have to go in and get ourselves a white marker. So we'll be back, gonna get a white marker so we can mark. Welcome back out to Maxim. We are on the driveway. We are working on our cover here. We've got this old pole which just doesn't want to grab all the time. We got to get it once in a while. Got these tubes. You saw how we made these. So let's talk about how they go on. What happens is you just tuck your pole into the hole. They go on like this. So that's how that'll be. And then the cover will be up here, and we'll sew it around. This will give us extra layers so we don't wear right through. All right. So we're going to have 2 poles like that. And we're going to attach this thing up front. So stay tuned here, like and subscribe, watch what we're going to do. Cover's made simple, baby. All right, so what we're going to have to do is cut along the seam here till we get to here. So we're just going to cut along this seam right next to it till we get all the way up there. we'll show you how we're going to fold and flap this. So there you are. You've got this this like this now, and you can see where we're at. You can see we got maybe a little bit more. We can, yeah, let's cut a little bit more. As you can see how we are here. Now there's where we are, so we know that we're cutting about 3 inches, folding 3 inches up. So if we cut down here, we'll be okay. So we're just going to cut here. All right, we're going to do the same thing going the other way. Kind of make this cleaner here. All right. We got our pencil. We can pull this down. It's right where we want to be, right there. I think, yep, right about there. So mark this with our pencil. It's right where we want to be. We're going to bring this up here, and we're going to tuck this just like we did before, where you get about 1 inch here, and we're going to tuck the rest up this way. Like I said, don't worry about the look, because you're going to sew it later. That'll come through. Best thing to do when you're just doing snaps is don't put a whole bunch of snaps on. Do one and snap it before you work on the next one. There you go. All right, so now we're going to take this one, pull it down this way. We'll straighten this out. See, it should come right to here. All right, that's where we should be, because you don't want wrinkles in there. All right, you want it to be edge to edge. So there we are. We'll put this one in. That's where that goes. It's always more difficult when you're first doing snaps. All right, so there we go. Now from there, we're going to start working the sides. But this gives you an idea how we're doing it, and eventually we'll be sewing this real nice, so it'll have a nice slot for that. Don't forget to like and subscribe, post notifications on, you won't miss this. We're going to continue on here and do the sides first thing tomorrow morning, because we're late in the day today. Hey, we're back on the cover. So you can see I'm underneath it here. You can see up this way what we've got. We got our poles up, and we're starting to use spring clips to hold it over and get it pulled how we want. We'll show you that from the outside, but it works pretty well. Okay, you can see how we've used the clips to tie it in place. Windy day, so we are struggling a little with the wind. You can see we got a few little wrinkles, but we're not going to worry about those wrinkles, because we're going to work them out as we put the snaps on. See, our one pole here has shifted a little. We got to go in and fix that before we get too far. But we're going to get the front done on both sides, and then we're going to work those wrinkles out as we put the snaps on. You can see we're getting the snaps on. Yes, it's a quite windy day out here. You can see we're getting most of the wrinkles out and what have you. We still got a lot back here to go, but it's looking good. We're going to do up front next. So we'll be taking you up there after lunch. We're going to stop, get something to eat. All right, well, you can see we got the top done. Keep in mind that ruffled edge when we sew it, we'll sew that smooth, so it'll be all nice. Plus the poles are going to go up a little bit more. But remember, we lowered the pole about 6 inches, so we put some tension on it. All right, let's go do the back. There, you can see how it worked. It's nice and tight on there. Looks really good, nice and tight. Almost hard to put on, but she'll stretch a little. And because we left that open where the light shines in, we won't get any mold on the inside. That was a problem we had with another cover we made. The seats and stuff inside would get moldy. So don't forget, like and subscribe. So you can see how we sewed that edge, did that all the way around. Sew below the snap and above the snap. Just do that and it makes it sturdy. Well, how was that? Well, it's going to be a while before you see a Maxim project. Trust me on this, because winter is here, the boat is stored. That's the way it goes in the north. So don't forget, like and subscribe. We got other projects going on. We've got some welding projects. We've got some Explorer projects. Got some Jeep projects. We'll keep working on stuff. Don't miss the videos.